those of us that believe in the Second Amendment. We fully acknowledge that when you have liberty, that you're going to have sometimes undesirable outcomes. We, as enthusiasts for the Second Amendment, acknowledge that in a free society, people are going to do bad things and dumb things, but there is a price to liberty.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now.
Hello and welcome to my 2 cents. My name is Henry Igwebike. We're so glad to have everyone join me, my live. And today we're talking about the cold-blooded killing of an American citizen named Charlie Kirk, who died in a college campus while he was having his sit-down conversation with students of the campus. And I guess the meeting was titled Prove Me Wrong. So for Charlie Kirk, he goes around the different campuses in the United States and tries to let people prove him wrong on many issues he has raised in America of what he thinks America should be or should look like. Eventually, the 31-year-old man, a family man with 2 kids, had to lose the most important thing, and that is life. He lost it when he was killed. Very so unfortunate, and I would love to use this opportunity on my 2 cents with Igwe Henry to pray that God would rest his soul. With that being said, the next big question is, what is there actually to learn? What is there to learn from the death of this man, Charlie Kirk? What is there to learn? What is there to learn? Of course, it happened many miles, millions of miles away from where I'm seeing all of this, Nigeria. But what is there actually to learn? What is there to learn? Because the biggest problem we have as human beings is not going back memory lane and learning, the behavioral traits of people that have lived before us and ask ourselves, how can we avoid those mistakes for the future? Like I often say on my 2 cents, one of the biggest problems we have in Nigeria is leadership deficit. Unfortunately, the crop of leaders, the pockets of leaders we have, are leaders that do not desire to go back memory lane to learn the mistakes of the past and see how they can correct it so as to avoid the consequences of what happened to people like them that behaved like them. So what is there to learn from the death of Charlie Kirk, actually? But before getting to what is there to learn from the death of this man, I'd love us to go back memory lane for a bit. As a young lad growing up in Nigeria, the United States of America had always been the most favorite place every young lad wanted to visit or wanted to go. Growing up in the 80s and upward of the 90s, it's always been the dream of every young lad that's at the time, to travel to the United States of America. I remember from 1993 upward to about 2003, in 10 years, 1993 to 2003, I know I had applied to the green card US visa, green card visa. That's what we used to call it back in the days, green card visa. I had applied 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times I applied, for the opportunity of a green card so I can travel to the United States of America like everyone else who had the desire of traveling to the United States. At that time, the United States was like the heaven, on earth. Most of us, of course, hadn't no opportunity of traveling there, but what we saw from television, from magazines, Ebony magazine especially, back in the days in the 80s and upward of the 90s, it was awesome. Every living single lad wanted to, get a piece of the United States, Then the American dream, was the numero uno preaching at that point. It was riddled all over the place. Come, achieve the American dream. So because of that, every Nigerian, both old and young, wanted to have a taste of the American dream. Now, fast forward to today. Is the American dream still the American dream? With regards to what we see today in America, do we still experience the American dream? Do we still experience the American dream? Unfortunately, lots of Americans aren't enjoying the American dream, unfortunately. The song you hear playing on the background right now is by Childish Gambino. This is America. This is America. A song he did like a couple of years back, just to depict the very gory situations happening in America. How that the so-called American dream had been told to an American nightmare in the faces of Americans. Unfortunately, one man who had always been pro-gun activist was gunned down by the guns that he was desirous of allowing people to own. Charlie Kirk is a conservative, and that means that he practices protectionism, which of course is similar to what Donald Trump practices. He is someone who believes in white dominance, actually, that the American dream thing, America first and all that. So he was a conservative and believed in all of those. And it actually related to some of the things he got talking. So all the campuses he went around the United States of America, all he was doing literally was trying to prove people wrong. How that protectionism, for example, was the best thing. How that the power of a man over a woman, was legit and germane. How that, lots of things actually, from racism to immigration and so many other things that he was pro about. And those were issues he went around the campuses talking about. And he would have like someone, a debater, who come argue with him on lots of things and all that. So at this particular time, he had lots of crowd, about thousands of people gathered there to listen to him. Unfortunately, that ended his life. Very so unfortunate. So while I was talking about the American dream becoming the American nightmare, it's because at this time, after so many years of applying for a green card, and now I'm a matured person, I'm grown, right? The question I ask myself really, if those opportunities come, would I grab it really? Would I readily grab it, knowing that I've grown up to know what priorities are. I've grown up to know what I need in my life. I've grown up to know, that the difference between smoke screen and the reality of things on ground. Does United States look like a country where you would readily love to have your family? Does it look like a country that you would love to raise a family in, really? Give it to them, of course. It's a first world country with all the best things in the world. I'm not saying Nigeria is even better, right? I'm not saying Nigeria is even better. United States is the numero uno, the world biggest economy in the world. Lots of glitters and glitz and all that. But the big question is, does the United States look like a country you would love to raise your family in? For so many people who are materialistic in nature, they might say, yeah, all right, get rich or die trying. Let's go there and die, no problem. Materialism or money is the most important thing. Money is the source of happiness, blah, 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 blah. But for some people who understand principle, that might really not be the go-to place. Why would I live in a country, or why would I relocate to a country where every day I'm looking over my shoulder? Why would I love to relocate to a country where I and my family seem not to be safe at lots of points? People are not safe going to church because one gun-hungry man can just walk into the church and kill everybody. While you're running away from that, gun violence in the church, your kids are equally running away from gun violence in school. One idiot can just walk into any primary school, secondary school, and just literally kill people for nothing. Literally for nothing. Right? So while you're running away from church not being killed in the church, you're equally running away from having your kids not being killed. Innocent children not being killed in different schools. You're equally running away from not being gunned down in departmental stores, the malls. One idiot can just take gun and just go to a mall and start killing people unnecessarily. So you're running away from church, you're running away from school for your kids, you're running away from the mall when you want to go get some groceries and all that. You might just be killed. So if you don't get killed in church, your kids don't get killed in school, you don't get killed right there when you go shopping in the mall, how about festivals? Right? Your favorite artist is performing. Let me go enjoy my favorite artist. Something bad might happen at the same point. Right? So there are lots of issues, That's why for me, all that glitters really is not gold. All that glitters really is not gold. So that's why we've all got choices, actually. We've all got choices. And the big question is, what is your choice? What choices do you have, really? Right? Is your choice that of get it or die trying? Is your choice that of I must go to America? I would love to relocate to America, and damn the consequences. I will pay anything to relocate myself and my family to the most peaceful country in the world. And the United States is not one of them, obviously, and unfortunately, it's not. Because this young man that just ended his life, he was killed. What use really is it? Why must he be killed? Right? We must all not be of the same political view. We might not all have the same political view. Of course, he's a Republican, he's a conservative, and he might have different views from yours. That is not enough reason for anyone to want to kill him. So the killing of that young man is so unnecessary, so very unnecessary, right? There's a reason why the fingers we have, come in different sizes. It's because we all have different opinions, right? So that is not enough reason for you to kill somebody that does not hold the same opinion like you do.